Hi AP students, I am here today to walk you through our lesson today on the rhetorical analysis essay. So have your notes ready to go, whether it's on that document or your own note-taking method, and we'll go through this. So students will be able to analyze the rubric and an exemplar for the rhetorical analysis essay on the AP exam. So I'm going to put myself in this corner. Okay, what is the rhetorical analysis essay? So in class, we've been talking a lot about this idea of rhetoric. We've been talking about space cat, the rhetorical situation, and now you are going to take all of those skills, okay, and use them, have them ready kind of in your toolbox to write this essay, okay? So the rhetorical analysis essay is one of 3 essays that you'll write for the AP exam on Wednesday, May 12th, 2021. So mark that day on your calendar. You will read a nonfiction text. It could be a letter, it could be a speech, a eulogy, an article, etc. It will always be nonfiction, okay? It will most likely be one of those on the screen. That's what they've used in past years, but just know it could be something different, but it will always be nonfiction. Then you will write an essay that analyzes how the author uses the rhetorical choices to achieve their purpose. You will have 40 minutes to read the essay prompt and write your essay. That freaks students out every single year. And I am here to tell you that we will practice and practice and practice these timed writes so you get comfortable with the idea of reading a text and writing an essay within that 40 minutes. I promise you that these timed writes are helpful. You can ask any student that's done this now and has taken the AP test. It's just helped them so that you get a better sense of what 40 minutes feels like. So I always say take 10 minutes to read, 5 minutes, plan your essay, make an outline of how you're going to tackle this so you're a little bit more organized, and then you have 25 minutes to actually write your essay. So we're able to type them, so we'll practice typing them obviously, but you'll get again a sense of like what that 40 minutes feels like. So the prompt is always going to look something like this. You already saw this today in class. This comes from the 2019 AP test. So the introductory information will be helpful to start with. They'll always give you that. I want you to think about the rhetorical situation, think space cat as you're reading through the introduction, because that's where a lot of that information lies. The prompt, it will only be approximately 1 page. Sometimes, like in past years, the text overlaps a bit to that second page, but it will never be like a full 2 pages because AP test creators know that you only have 40 minutes to do all that. And then there are lines. So they number the lines in the prompt so that you can use them as you are embedding evidence and quotes into your own essay. And so you will use those. If I say use citations, you can use those lines next to the actual text. So how and what do I analyze while I'm reading? So you have this 10 minutes to read this prompt, okay? As you're reading, you need to have a focus. You need to start with space cat as you are reading the introductory information. Make sure you have that information to better understand what the author is going to argue and how they're going to do that effectively. Find the 3 strongest rhetorical choices the author makes chronologically throughout the prompt. I want you to think back to that rhetorical précis, that 7-sentence rhetorical précis, because that automatically helps you write about those 3 rhetorical choices. First, the author utilizes emotional diction in order to blah, blah, blah. Then the author goes into blah, blah, blah. And finally, that way you're working through the text chronologically so that you can structure your essay the same way. Each of your body paragraphs will focus on that specific rhetorical choice. So 3 body paragraphs is what you want to aim for. I get the question every single year. Ms. Johnson, how many words does it need to be? And I say that doesn't matter, okay? What the judges look for is quality over quantity. They want to see developed body paragraphs. And so however you do that is up to you, okay? we can kind of, when we go into practicing writing those body paragraphs, I will give you a template. I will give you suggestions, but just think you need to develop your own claims within those body paragraphs. And then always connect the rhetorical choices to the author's purpose and overall argument as you are analyzing and commenting. The structure of the essay. So again, that introductory paragraph is the 7-sentence rhetorical précis. We've done that. We've practiced that. And that's all you need to do. You need to have a thesis that includes the 3 rhetorical choices you're going to focus on and connect that to the author's purpose. Lucky for you, the 7-sentence rhetorical précis does that automatically for you. You list the rhetorical choices, you connect those choices to the author's purpose and the author's argument, and you're good. Okay? So body paragraphs then, that's what we'll really spend our time practicing. Each, again, will focus on just one rhetorical choice. So you use evidence from the text to support your commentary, and then connect that rhetorical choice back to the author's purpose and the message. Okay? And then the conclusion, 1 to 2 sentences, wrapping up your final thoughts. This can be super short. The bulk of your essay should be these body paragraphs, and we will practice those. So to meet this challenge, okay, as an AP student, you must use the details and clues in the prompts and text to analyze its rhetorical context. Think genre. Please avoid, if the text says that this is a speech, it's Gandhi's speech that you're looking at, do not refer to it as Gandhi's article, okay? That is a no good situation for you. Analyze the speaker, analyze the audience and the purpose, okay? Remember to make assumptions and jump to different ideas. Don't just state the obvious. And you need to develop an accurate and thorough understanding of the main claim. Study the text as part of a larger political or social conversation instead of just an isolated piece of writing. This you can really think about when you're looking at Space Cat, when we're looking at context and exigence. That's going to help you in your analysis, okay? Gandhi didn't just write this speech because he's Gandhi, right? Like there was a purpose for him to write this speech because of the world around him and things going on. And so that's purpose, right? That's what we're trying to get at with this essay. Speculate about how the rhetorical choices and ambiguities connect to each other in a way that reinforces the text purpose, okay? Explain how the author's use of rhetorical choice does contribute to their main claims and helps them achieve their purpose for writing the text. Support your speculations by referring to the text using embedded quotes and citations. Again, using those lines from the text. And finally, take a risk and do not always limit yourself to the most obvious choices. We'll talk about those in a second here. So what to avoid, okay? In my 5 years of teaching this course now, I finally, I was an AP reader this past summer. And so I spent hours and hours and hours reading essays from across the nation. And it was a rhetorical analysis essay, okay? So as I was scoring other students' essays this past summer and teaching this course, here are the things that I have learned, and I've seen students make these mistakes, and I do not want you to make those same mistakes. Do not use I statements in this essay. This is not an I think, I believe kind of essay. Always write in present tense versus past tense in this essay. So what I mean by that is like, even though you just read Gandhi's article and it feels very past tense at this point, and this article was, or I'm sorry, speech, see? No, don't do that. Speech was written way, 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 way long ago, right? You want to say the author argues versus the author argued, okay? Or Gandhi says versus Gandhi said. Always write in past, present tense. Try to avoid logos, pathos, and ethos. AP readers see this as the obvious choice, okay? You can write about them, but take it to the next step of like the author or the speaker is appealing to the audience's sense of patriotism in order to. We practice that a little bit in class, but do not just like laundry list the speaker uses logos, pathos, ethos in their speech, okay? That is not going to get you a high score on this essay. And just don't laundry list the rhetorical choices. Like, do not just say the author uses juxtaposition, repetition, anaphora, and an allusion. That, again, is not going to give you a high score on this essay. Avoid writing about the what. So don't just summarize what the prompt is saying. Don't just summarize the speech that Gandhi wrote and talk about the what. This essay is all about the how and the why. How did the author achieve their purpose? Why are they using cacophonous diction in their writing or periodic sentences? That's the analysis. That's the thinking. That's the writing from you that I want to see. So how am I getting scored? Okay. I'm going to put myself down here. This essay, so again, think about you have 3 total. Okay. This essay is worth 6 points. So there are 3 parts of the rubric that we are going to practice today in class, but this is what it looks like. So this first part is just your thesis. If you take a look over here, it says 0 to 1 point, meaning you either have a thesis or you don't have a thesis. So you want to make sure, like, to get this point, it responds to the prompt with a defensible thesis that analyzes the writer's rhetorical choices. The thesis may be more than one sentence, provided the sentences are in close proximity. Okay, again, your rhetorical précis does this. The thesis may be anywhere within the response. The rhetorical précis does this. Okay, so you've already practiced this. You know how to do this. Here is really the bulk where we're going to be practicing today. This next section on the rubric is your evidence and your commentary. So it's 0 to 4 points. If you're thinking about 6 points total, 4 points is the bulk of what they're looking at, okay? So to get a 4, you need to, for your evidence, you need to provide specific evidence to support all claims in a line of reasoning. And commentary, it consistently, you as the writer consistently explain how the evidence supports a line of reasoning, meaning you have little claims, right? Like you have many topic sentences for each body paragraph. Those need to connect back to your thesis, and that needs to be very clear in your writing, okay? On top of that, and you explain how multiple rhetorical choices in the passage contribute to the writer's argument, purpose, or message, okay? That's how you get a 4. On the bottom of the rubric here, okay, if you have a ton of grammatical or mechanical errors that interfere with communication, you cannot earn the 4th point in this row, okay? If you have great development, but you have a ton of spelling errors, you're going to get bumped down to a 3 or a 2. To earn the 4th point in this row, the response may observe multiple instances of the same rhetorical choice if each instance further contributes to the argument, purpose, or message of the passage. Okay, and then finally is the last point. It's called the sophistication point. It's 1 point. It's similar where the thesis, you either don't have it or you have it, okay? So a response demonstrates sophistication of thought and or a complex understanding of the rhetorical situation. So you need to demonstrate by doing any of the following. You need to explain the significance or relevance of the writer's rhetorical choices, given the rhetorical situation, explaining a purpose or function of the passage's complexities or tensions, and employing a style that is consistently vivid and persuasive. So you're avoiding formal and informal. You are avoiding the obvious rhetorical choices here. You are avoiding words like said, right? Said is dead, okay? And so we'll practice this in our writing, right? This comes with like writer's workshop, and you continuously come back to your writing and you want to make it better, clear, and concise, okay? That is it for the rhetorical analysis. You can come back to this video as we are working through the rhetorical analysis. If you have any questions, always ask me.